Football's back.
All right, let's head to the Southeastern Sports Medicine Wise Lines. Jason Garrison joining us. CincyJungle.com. He blogs on the Bengals. He was with us for our War Room feature, NFL Draft Preview back in April. And it's great to have you back, Jason. How you doing today, bud?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back.
It's always a pleasure. Hey, first things first, talking about the Bengals, I want to get your take up there in Cincinnati on the whole Carson Palmer, either trade me or I'm going to retire scenario. And I got to admit, I feel like Mike Brown missed an opportunity to just get rid of Carson Palmer, and really not get rid of him, but really appease his wishes and move on. But instead, I feel like he's being detrimental to your organization by saying, yeah, fine, we're not going to do anything. Carson Palmer looks like he's going to retire, and the Bengals really don't get anything from this. How are the fans handling that scenario?
I think that there's kind of a mixed bag. I think half the fans not necessarily support Carson Palmer's decision to quit on his teammates and quit on the fans, but they think that Mike Brown should trade him without question because it would be best for the team. But I think half the other fans kind of feel that no one ever sides with Mike Brown, so don't get me wrong, but they think that it would be a good thing that Mike Brown doesn't trade him because they're mad at Palmer because he did quit on the team. He quit on the fans, and they're upset about that. And they also think that you should honor agreement. And Mike Brown did this because he doesn't want to open the door for any other players in the future to say, trade me or I'm going to pull a Carson Palmer. And,
oh boy.
I mean, it's a pretty bad situation right now. So.
You know, it's interesting, Jason, because at least from down here, it seems like Carson Palmer put up with a whole lot up in Cincinnati. And, you know, for him to say, hey, look, I want to play for a contending team, I want to move on, I saw nothing wrong with that. And I was just surprised that Mike Brown, and I understand, okay, I see where he's coming from there, but hey, look, there's not a whole lot of Carson Palmers out there in all of this. I'm just kind of surprised that, you know, he's decided to be, you know, hard-headed about it and let. I mean, who knows if the Bengals could have gotten down the road for this guy.
And public about it. I mean, this blow by blow keeps popping up, and it's kind of like, you know, the best way to make it go away is do something.
Of course, it keeps guys like Jason very busy. Jason Garrison joining us. CincyJungle.com blogs on the Bengals. All right, so Carson Palmer not going to be playing at least this season. Andy Dalton, it looks like he's going to be starting the first exhibition game. The rookie out of TCU, he's highly touted. He's a smart kid. But right now, do you think he's ready to get the starting nod for the Bengals?
I don't know. I don't know if he's ready, but he's gotten it. It seems that he's going to be the guy, and he'll be the first guy actually since 1969 to be a rookie starting quarterback for the Bengals. Last time was Greg Cook. But I think that the difference between now and when Palmer was a rookie is that then they had a quarterback that knew the system, that had been there for a little while. It was John Kidna, and the teammates had the team around him had a history with him. Now they don't have that. I mean, before they signed Bruce Gradkowski, the most experience they had from any quarterback was 15 total snaps in the game situation, and that was from Jordan Palmer.
Oh boy!
So. I mean, I think that going with Dalton actually is probably their best bet, and just to use Gradkowski as a support, you know, to give advice to him along the way.
Okay, so if that's the case, and you got an unproven or untested quarterback in there, what is your offensive attack going to look like? How conservative will the Bengals' attack be?
I think it's going to be a lot of running. I mean, I think they're going to kind of go back to that 2009. Where they relied a lot on Benson and a power running game, and then hopefully the offensive line, Andre Smith has miraculously lost a lot of weight and is playing well in camp. So hopefully the offensive line can handle that. And then once the running game gets going, I think they'll be really conservative in the pass game and just kind of get Dalton acclimated slowly but surely. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be run first, throw second.
You're listening to The Wise Guys. Our NFL 4-Wide feature features the Cincinnati Bengals. We're joined by Jason Garrison. He blogs on the Bengals. CincyJungle.com is the website. Before we get to a tight end question with Seth, I want to catch up with the wide receivers. T.O.'s gone. Ocho Cinco is gone. That means no reality TV stars in the Cincinnati area that we can count on. But you got Julio.
Yeah, maybe they'll just do things like catch passes.
You've got Julio Jones, your first pick out of out of Alabama. What's your take going on with him and obviously the receiving core with your two guys gone?
Well, it's actually A.J. Green.
A.J. Green, I'm sorry. Julio's with Atlanta. My bad.
It was actually, A.J. Green, the 4th overall pick. He's been lighting it up in camp. People are all really excited about him diving for passes and making all these really acrobatic catches. Jerome Simpson, who had a really good end of the season in 2010, is going to be the number 2 receiver. And he really didn't do anything at all for the first 3 years of his career, but he was behind Chad Ochocinco, Lavernius Coles, Terrell Owens, and T.J. Houshmandzadeh for his first 3 years of his career. And they both look good. I mean, they're humble guys, not really used, what Cincinnati's used to at all.
Yeah.
But they're both young. They're both young and they're hungry, and I think they're both going to be really good. They're both extremely athletic.
Jason Garrison blogs on the Bengals. CincyJungle.com is the website. Our Wise Guys NFL 4-wide feature with the Bengals today.
And Jason, you mentioned that the plan would probably be to run first and pass second. Okay, we went over the wide receivers. I'm interested in the tight end situation. I really like Jermaine Gresham, who had a pretty solid rookie season last year, but then in the midst of free agency, the team goes out and gets Bo Scafey, formerly of the Titans. How do you think the tight end tandem, or is it going to be a trio, is going to shake out by the end of training camp?
Well, I would think that they would probably keep 3, and they would keep Jermaine Gresham and then Chase Kaufman, who they picked the year before that in the 3rd round. And I think they'll probably keep Bo Scafey just as a veteran presence. They got rid of, well, they didn't get rid of, but they didn't re-sign Reggie Kelly this year. Reggie Kelly would be going into his 12th year, and he's never really been a receiving threat. But, I think Gresham and Kaufman are young. Gresham's obviously the future of the position, but I think they just wanted to sign Scapes just to have a veteran in that group with them. But, I think Gresham's going to be playing almost all the time.
Hey, Jason, we've been talking a lot of offense, obviously. Before we let you go, how are things shaping up defensively for the Bengals this season?
Well, I think the defense is going to be, if they want to be successful, and I would call 8-8 this year a success. If they want to be successful, their defense is going to have to be back where it was in 2009, and that was in the top 5 by the end of the year. Ray Maluga's moving to the middle where he belongs, and he's really taken that role seriously as a leader. They lost They lost Jonathan Joseph, but they signed Nate Clemens. He's going to step down a little bit, but I think they got some guys that can rush the passer, and Carlos Dunlap and Dante Mock, and I think that they're going to make up for Joseph's loss with a pass rush. The big Achilles heel is going to be safety. If their safeties can't stay healthy again, it's going to be a problem for them. But we'll just have to see what happens. I think their defense is going to be, it could be really good.
We'll be looking forward to it. This is a fun thing about, getting with all of you bloggers is that, we get this great inside information so that when we see these teams play like the Bengals, we go, oh, yeah, that's right. Jason was telling us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff right there. And as Seth says, hey, you got Cleveland, Denver, San Francisco, Buffalo, and Jacksonville to start the season. Seth's already got you at 5-0 to start the year. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Better than I had.
Well, Seth's our ultimate optimist in the mothership, for sure. Hey, it's great to catch up with you, Jason. And if any Bengals breaking news takes place, we'd love to do so again. Thanks so much, man.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks, Jason.
Jason Garrison, CincyJungle.com, blogs on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Seth's got him 5-0?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cleveland's looking pretty good. I think Cleveland's going to surprise a few people. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But you never know. That's why they play the game.